Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the EZA for the LR BOJACK. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kinda on the fence about this guy. When he released 3-4 months ago, when he came out on JP, I kinda figured he was going to age really quickly, because he doesn't have any like guard, damage reduction, dodge, or anything like that built in, and unfortunately, units that don't have that typically just age quicker than other units that do have it. So I already kinda figured he was going to age, you know, a little bit quick. And now that he's releasing 3-4 months later on Global, I don't know, he's alright, right? In some situations he can be good, but I don't really know how I'm feeling about him. So that's another reason I wanted to do the showcase, because I really wanted to see how good this guy was looking in his best situation. You know, he's Rainbowed Link level 10. We have him under a 200% leader skill from the Ginyu. So a really good situation from him, and I'm just curious how good he can be looking in his best situations. So before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind that our timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation, we are going to have 3 out of 7 links, and we do have big bad bosses. So that's one thing about this guy is, obviously he's a big bad bosses unit, so you really want to make sure you got him link level 10, because he's going to kind of have a handicap if you don't. And we also have double support from the Cooler, and then the 50% support Vegeta. So we're at 422k defense. Actually, you know what? That's pretty good start of turn. That's not horrible, right? So what we'll do is, actually, we'll keep the Vegeta on rotation with the BOJACK, and then we'll get all these key spheres right here, because this guy does get an additional 50% attack and defense when collecting 5 or more key spheres. So then, yeah, as you can see, we jumped up to 477k defense. Not really the biggest jump up, especially considering it was 50% extra attack and defense. Kind of expecting it to be a little bit higher, but still, it's worth noting. And also we get 30% attack and defense on all of our super attack effects. So right here we are going to get an additional 30% defense. And that would put us at, what, approaching 600k defense? With a 10.5 million attack stat. Actually, that's not horrible. I mean, offensively that's good, because we are also giving all allies 40% support. So we're just making the Cooler look a lot better. So offensively, a very good opening rotation. But do keep in mind we had double support. And honestly, our defense really wasn't all that good right there. I mean, what was it? Approaching 600k? That's alright if you have type advantage in like a difficult event, right? But if you bring this guy versus like Broly or Metal Cooler Core, you're going to get incinerated, right? Well, I guess Metal Cooler Core, he has type disadvantage. So even if he's type neutral, is what I'm trying to say, from a super, he's still going to take a lot of damage. Just because, again, he doesn't have any guard, damage reduction, you know, dodge, anything like that. So unfortunately, his levels of defense just isn't really good enough just by itself, right? But I guess you could double super with him, and then you could probably start to approach a million defense, which is good. Once you start hitting a million defense, then you start to be able to, I mean, you could survive most enemy super attacks, right? You're still going to take a lot of damage, but you'd be able to survive it. And then that would be pretty impressive. So I guess with that said, you probably should build him full additionals just to really capitalize on that. But maybe giving him a little bit of crit wouldn't be the worst idea, like, you know, 3 or 6 crit. And he is int, so he has the base 5 dodge, so I don't really think you'd have to worry about that. But I guess you could probably make the case for full dodge. I mean, with any unit, honestly, you could, because if you're dodging every attack, of course that's really useful. But anyway, right here we are going to have 4 out of 7 links. We've got some support from the Turles. And start of turn, we are at 423k defense. So once again, not really the best start of turn defensive stat, but it's pretty solid, right? I mean, considering we get 30% on super, yeah, I guess it's not the worst. And then we get the 5 key spheres right there, and then we jump up to 480k defense, basically. So, okay, pretty solid, but I guess there are a couple other things you have to keep in mind. Number one, we do get an additional attack buff up to 100% the more HP we have. So, of course, if you're full HP start of turn, then your attack stats will be pushing 10 million, if not over 10 million, as we saw on the previous rotation. So, that definitely is pretty good. I mean, his damage is looking impressive. I mean, yeah, look at that, 11.6. And then this guy gets an additional defense boost up to 100%, the less HP remaining. Not really a big fan of that, because to really utilize that to its fullest potential, you're going to have to be at like 10 or 20% HP, which you're not going to get there very often. If you're that low on health, then you're most likely going to, you know, you're going to be dead. But I guess actually early in the video, I did say that he's going to take a lot of damage from supers, but he's probably not going to quite die if you're double supering. So I guess that would get you to that 10, 20, 30% HP threshold, and then you would be able to really like utilize that 100% defense boost. So I guess there is that. But anyway, this guy does also get 1 key up to 5, and then attack and defense plus 10% up to 50% with every extreme class ally on the team. And of course right here, yeah, we have a full extreme class team with him, right? Because the 50% support Vegeta, I'm pretty sure, is an extreme class unit. So a full extreme class team. So we've got that whole buff activated. I don't really think that's a bad thing. Majority of the time, you're running him with extreme class units. So that definitely is pretty good. I'm pretty sure his only 200% is Ginyu as well. So majority of the units are going to be extreme class anyway. And then also this guy does Rainbow Orb Change, which is really, really useful. That's not really like as useful as supporting, but it's good because then it makes everyone around him able to get key spheres a lot more easier. And it even benefits him because, of course, he gets the additional 50% attack and defense with the 5 key spheres. But, okay, so start of turn, damn, we're over 500k. All right, that's actually pretty good because we haven't even gotten the 5 key spheres with him yet. So, hopefully we don't kill with the STR BOJACK in slot 1, but I think we might if he like crits or gets an additional or something. So after we get the key spheres, yeah, we jump up to 571k. All right, so actually, you know what? That's not horrible because then after the 30% on our super attack effect, what, we're going to be like 800k defense. So then, yeah, with an additional, that would be a little over 1 million defense. So, I mean, in the right situations, this guy can look pretty impressive. I was going to say solid. I mean, yeah, he can look solid. But still, you got to keep in mind, from super attacks with, like, hard-hitting enemies, he is taking a lot of damage. So, I mean, yeah, really good attack set, though. 8.8 million crit. Definitely impressive, but I don't think this guy's anything too crazy. I think definitely could have been better, right? And I think within, I don't know, 6 months, this guy, unfortunately, probably won't be all that useful just because power creep and how significant it is. And by then, you know, we'll be approaching, like, the next worldwide download celebration. So, yeah, I don't really know how useful this guy will be in the near future. But for now, he definitely is all right. He is a Rainbow Orb Changer, which I was about to talk about that. So he changes Tech Key Spheres into Rainbow Key Spheres if there's another Space Traveling Warriors category ally attacking the same turn. Not difficult at all. Most of the time, there is going to be that. And then, of course, he gets the 50% attack and defense with 5 more Key Spheres. And then because he's Rainbow Key Sphere changing, if there's a Space Traveling Warriors category ally in the turn, then it'll just make it to where you can get that extra 50% attack and defense a lot more frequently. So overall, a pretty solid passive. I mean, you know, considering he has LR stats, a lot of these buffs are very important and will help him out a lot. But still, I feel like they could have just done a little bit more with him, right? Just like one little more push. Maybe if he had, like, I don't know, maybe if he had guard, if there was like another stored figures, like Space Traveling Warriors unit on the rotation or something. I mean, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but you know what I mean? Just like a little something extra. But still, he's solid. As we saw through the rotations, he can get up to some really high attack stats, and his defense can start to look somewhat impressive if you start to consider he can get additionals. And, alright, what we'll do is we'll nuke with him right here. We'll just throw him in slot 1. Hopefully we get pretty lucky with Key Spheres, and then we'll call it in the Legendary Vegeta event, and then we'll take him versus Cell Max. Now, he does have type advantage against Cell Max, so I'm expecting him to perform fairly well in there, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And also, keep in mind, throughout just this showcase in the Legendary Vegeta event, we've had support from the free-to-play cooler, we've had the 50% support Vegeta, and then we had the Turles. So there's been a lot of support going on, and the BOJACK as well. So there has been a lot of support units. So I don't really know how realistic these stats are, because you're not actually going to be able to run some of these units in the difficult events. So we'll see in Cell Max what his attack and defense is really going to be looking like. But, alright, we're getting supered. This doesn't really matter. I don't think he lowers defense, but it doesn't affect me at all, because this is the last rotation he's going to be on anyway. Alright, so our attack stat is 22.8. That's definitely very good. I mean, of course, it's a nuking rotation. So yeah, I mean, his damage can get up there. 15 million crit, damn. Yeah, that is a lot of damage. But alright, well, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Cell Max event. Alright, so we're here fighting Cell Max, and we have a very good rotation right here. We're going to have 6 out of 7 links, and we have literally every unit that's a support unit on the team on the BOJACK's rotation. So just a good turn from overall. And we are going to be able to get our super off first before we take any attacks from Cell Max, because as you can see, we did get locked in slot 2. So hopefully Cell Max doesn't super like with his first attack with the STR BOJACK. So just to be safe, I'm going to transform with him. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, because also we never get to play this. I mean, when are we ever running the STR BOJACK? So yeah, let's go and play this guy's active. Alright, pretty good active skill, I guess, really quick. So we're going to get 7 key spheres with the STR BOJACK, and then we're going to be able to get the 8 key spheres with the int one. So he's going to get well over 5 key spheres, so he does have that extra 50% attack and defense buff. So yeah, a little over 500k defense start of turn. Yeah, that's alright, because of course we get the 30% on super attack. Nothing too crazy, but in here, because he has type advantage, again, it should be alright. So as long as BOJACK doesn't get supered right here, we'll be fine. Because it's only 1 attack, right? Surely it'll just be a normal, and then we can call it, and then see BOJACK perform. Please don't be a super... okay. Man, I just... My luck in the Cell Max event. If you saw my Kale showcase, you know, Cell Max just loves to super me in the worst possible spots. I'm keeping this in the video. Let's just cut to a better rotation. Alright, so we're back in the Cell Max event, and we got a very similar rotation, except for we don't have the 50% support Vegeta, but we are still going to have a 5 out of 7 links. We got the support from the BOJACK, and we are at a little over 400k defense start of turn. So yeah, you could see a big drop off because we don't have the 50% support Vegeta. Now, the Golden Frieza in slot 1 is going to take a super. I'm like, well, okay, I'm like 70% sure he's going to be fine. I think, because we have the 80% damage reduction up with him. Wow, we're only at 52k defense. I don't know. We're just barely... If we die, we're just barely going to die, right? But if we do survive with the Golden Frieza, then the BOJACK in slot 2 will be able to take a normal and then a super. So it'll be really good for him. But how much are we taking from this? Yeah, and then 50k for normal. That's a lot of damage. But I think we just barely survive this. So yeah, we should be fine right here. How much are we taking per normal? Damn, 50k. That's just crazy. But all right, a little over 11 million from the BOJACK. Definitely some really good damage. Now, we do get the 30% defense from this. And then if we get any additionals, that'd be another 30% defense buff, which we did not get. But yeah, easily double digits after we super. But from the super, from Cell Max, how much are we taking? Keep in mind we have the 30% defense. 437k. Yeah, that's all right. That's not horrible, right? Because we got the super off. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit lower than that, I'll be honest. A little bit less damage, but still pretty impressive. Overall, I would say BOJACK definitely is good, right? He's nothing too crazy. He's just good. But unfortunately, give it 5 months. I feel like he's going to fall off. But anyway, that's been the showcase. Let's cut to the unit breakdown. All right, here we have Galaxy Threatening Invasion, Full Power BOJACK, Galactic Warrior. You had to add the Galactic Warrior part. You know, it's important to know about BOJACK. He's a Galactic Warrior, obviously. So his leader skill is Extreme Int type Ki +4, HP Tag and Defense plus 120%, or Super Int type Ki +3, HP Tag and Defense plus 90%. Pretty solid leader skill in Ultimate Clash and Super Battle Road. You'll probably be able to make some use out of that. And then his super attack effect on his 12 key is that he raises defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and then greatly lowers defense. So the 30% defense definitely is very good, very beneficial to this unit, especially that he gets it on his 12 key, because that means any additionals, obviously you also get the 30% defense. And then his 18 key super attack is he raises defense for 1 turn again, does mega colossal damage to enemy, and then raises extreme class allies by 40% attack for 1 turn. So that is pretty useful if you have this guy in slot 2. Then you'll be able to make use out of that for the slot 3 unit. You're not really going to put this guy in slot 1 majority of the time, so this isn't really going to be benefiting like the whole rotation. But like I said, in slot 2, you'll help out the slot 3 unit in terms of his damage. So very good there. And then his passive is that he gets attack and defense plus 150%. He gets an additional attack boost up to 100% the more HP remaining. And then he gets an additional defense boost up to 100% the less HP remaining. And then this guy gets 1 key up to 5. And then an additional attack and defense plus 10% up to 50% per extreme class category ally, or no, not category ally, per extreme class ally on the team. And then he changes tech key spheres to rainbow key spheres when there's another space traveling warriors category ally attacking in the same turn. And then this guy gets the 50% attack and defense with 5 or more key spheres obtained. So I already kind of talked about his passive during the video. It's definitely very good, but it's just a couple things here and there could have made him like a lot better. Maybe if he supported extreme class allies, 30% attack and defense as well, and obviously if he had some guard damage reduction dodge, then he would have been perfect, but fortunately he didn't get any of those things, so he's just good at this point, right? And then his links are the Hera Clan, Galactic Warriors, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Revival, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. So I guess a good thing about this guy is he does have Big Bad Bosses and Thirst for Conquest, and then Legendary Power. So, you know, a lot of the Friezas and Coolers he is going to share those 3 links with. which definitely is an amazing thing because those are some really top tier links, and a lot of the freezes and coolers are really good. I mean, look, after the worldwide download celebration, we got a bunch of new coolers that were really top tier. So definitely a good thing there, but the Heraclan and Galactic Warriors, let's look at these really quickly. Just because why not, right? Yeah, I mean, that link, what is this? Galactic Warriors is really bad. I mean, the effect at link level 10 is 20% attack and defense and 2 key, which is really useful, but I don't know. And then the Heraclan, I mean, yeah, this link isn't even that good. This is just 2 key and then attack and then performing a crit hit plus 5%. So that, yeah, not really a good link. And then the other link, I mean, the effect is good, but you're never going to get this active, right? So not really the craziest link set, but as I said, Big Bad Bosses and Thirst for Conquest, definitely really solid 2 links to have. And then his categories are Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Time Travelers, Joined Forces, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, Stored Figures, and Legendary Existence. So he's on some pretty good teams as well. A lot of these are really good, like Space Traveling Warriors, of course. Joined Forces is starting to become really good. Terrifying Conquerors is pretty good. Movie Bosses is going to become insane once we get like LR Cell Max and, you know, LR Broly and all that. So overall, I would say a pretty solid unit. I just think he's going to age pretty poorly within the next couple months. But anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking of this guy down in the comments. Let me know how many copies you have of this guy. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.